Hello, this is meteorologist Brad Winter from Region Weather Live for your fast forecast. Now, there is a lot going on over the course of this week, so there is a detailed version of this out there. So make sure you click on the link below, and I'll also have a link at the end of this video, but make sure you check that out because there is so much going on this week that you're going to want to check it out. But with this one, we'll quickly run through the timing of the snowfall. I'll show you some maps at the end where I'm expecting to show you what I'm expecting for snowfall accumulations, and that'll be it. So let's get going. All right, we already have some pretty decent snow moving across North Dakota, northern Minnesota here Sunday night and into early parts of Monday morning. Here we are, 6 a.m. and by noon time frame, and finally by 6 p.m. you can see that storm system moves on out. Now, most of the accumulation will be north of kind of that 200 or Highway 2 and northward. It looks like where most of the snow will occur. And then quickly behind it, as we get into Tuesday morning, you can see where that snow, the next storm system begins to move on in. And with this first storm that's rolling through here Sunday night in through Monday, you can see kind of this purplish area where we're looking at 5 to 6 inches right north of Grand Forks and near Bemidji. Otherwise, generally, we're pretty much looking at 3 to 5 inches across much of this storm area. Again, kind of north of Highway 200 to up to Highway 2 and northward where we're looking at that 3 to 5 inch mark. Otherwise, in the screen, we're looking at 1 to 3. And in the blue, we're looking at a trace to 1. Okay, storm system number 2 comes in Tuesday morning already, and you can see it quickly moves eastward throughout the morning hours. Here we are at noon Tuesday afternoon, and finally by 6 p.m., some decent snowfall moves across South Dakota and into southern portions of Minnesota, so it looks like by your evening rush hour is really going to look nasty for those of you down in the Twin Cities area. And you can see that snow now beginning to move into Duluth. We got a little bit of rain down here in the back side of this. And then as we get into the overnight hours, Tuesday night, here we are by midnight, it looks like that back end of this next system, storm number 2, is on its way out. And really by the time we get into Wednesday morning, right around 6 a.m., you can see that snow has moved off. But here comes storm number 3. All right, storm number 2, Tuesday through Tuesday night, 5 to 8 inches here from northeast South Dakota down across southern portions of Minnesota, just kind of including the southern edge of the Twin Cities, those southern suburbs. 3 to 6 here, all in the yellow, and your 1 to 3 inch mark all through the green. And then for those of you remaining there in the blue, we're looking at just a trace to 1 inch with this particular storm system. And storm system number 3, as you can see, now begins to move into southwestern portions of South Dakota by 6 a.m. on Wednesday. By noon, begins to move into southeastern portions of South Dakota, and by 6 p.m. on Wednesday, you can see it now has pushed into southern portions of Minnesota as well. Now, here's where things really get interesting as we get through the nighttime hours. By midnight, we start to see some warmer air begin to push in. We could see some freezing rain or sleet across southern portions of Minnesota by this time. We also could have heavier bands of snow that move across parts of our region here down in southeastern parts of South Dakota and southern portions of Minnesota by the time we get to that midnight time frame. And the other thing we're going to be seeing is some stiff northeasterly winds. So along with the snow, we're going to be seeing some blowing and drifting and the possibility at least of some blizzard conditions. So visibility is near zero or zero at times as we go through the overnight hours Wednesday night and into early Thursday morning. By 3 a.m. Thursday morning, that snow was really getting going here down across southern portions of Minnesota. And then by 6 a.m., that moderate to heavy snow now shifts just a slight bit north across the Twin Cities and northward. But man, is there a lot of snow. And still in the morning here, we're still looking at plenty of stiff northeasterly winds blowing and drifting going on, taking place across the morning. Thursday morning across Minnesota. And then as we get to noon and beyond, it looks like that snow finally moves out. The winds begin to decrease. And by the time we get to the evening hours, things should be improving, but more than likely the roads are still going to be a mess. And with storm number 3, 8 to 15 inches plus all across the red here. Now, some of you down here in southeastern parts of Minnesota, that's going to depend on how much warm air actually makes it in and how much rain and freezing rain and sleet actually makes it in. So this could actually reduce the amount of snow down here. But the unfortunate part is more than likely you will see freezing rain and sleet. So no matter what, travel is just going to be hazardous down here. It's just a matter of if it's going to be rain, freezing rain, or just a lot of snow. Elsewhere in the purple from Duluth to Alexandria, Bismarck, Dickinson, we're looking at 4 to 8 inches out of this particular storm. And generally in the yellow, we're we're looking at 2 to 4, and in the green, a trace to possibly 2 inches. Now, not all this is set in stone necessarily, particularly this third system. That's a little bit out there, so some of this could shift north or south, it just depending on the track of that last little storm system. So do keep that in mind, particularly probably along this edge here. Some of this is going to get shifted, and then obviously, as I was talking about, it just depends on that freezing rain and sleet down there as well. So some of this will change. It's a bit out there, but right now, here's the early forecast for that third system. And just for fun, if everything works out the way I think it will, here is the total snowfall forecast throughout the week. So from Monday through Thursday, 15 to 25 inches of snow across eastern and South Dakota and across southern portions of Minnesota. Otherwise, a wide swath of 10 to 15 inches of snow across all of South Dakota, southern 2/3 of Minnesota. And then we're looking at 5 to 10 in the yellow, 3 to 5 in the green, and 1 to 3 up there in the northwest angle in the blue. So that is the fast forecast, and you can see there's just a lot to talk about. So please go ahead and click on that link here, and you're going to get all kinds of information, timing, winds, temperatures, all that kind of fun stuff that's expected with these storm systems as they roll through. So make sure you check that out. All right, for Region Weather Live, I'm meteorologist Brad Werner. Everybody have a good day.